So that was the culprit, the bumblebee that we caught last Thursday. He didn't realize he was on camera.
I'm sorry, y'all. But I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny as all get out. You know what? I'm concerned. Are we plugged in with our internet? Because look at that. It's saying that our internet is low. So let us know.
We should probably turn on the Wi-Fi again.
Yeah, we're going to turn on the Wi-Fi. Let's just make sure that you guys are seeing us okay. And folks are already starting out with their questions because y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. But look, they just indicted the New York Attorney General, the Attorney General for the state of New York. So I guess the former FBI director was not enough.
Oh, no.
That was not enough. And then folks are asking us, is it time to go yet? Is it time to go yet? What do you think, sweetheart?
I think we've said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it many a time. It's been time to go.
It's been time to go. Okay. It is time to go. I'm going to do an edit. I want to make sure that we are recording all of this pre-recorded. No, there's nothing I can do there. I want to make sure because I'm still seeing the mark that says that we're not getting good internet, although I know we have excellent internet right here.
Mm-hmm.
In this beautiful Airbnb that we are staying in Medellín, Colombia. We're in Medellín, Colombia, y'all.
Colombia.
We're in Medellín, Colombia, and we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So, as we were talking earlier in the behind the scenes, one of the things that concerned me is that we've been talking with folks, and I know that there is so much going on that it can be overwhelming. I know that there's so much going on that some people, even really brilliant critical thinkers, are like, I don't know what to believe because they've never been the type of person that was following it day to day anyway, right? But y'all, we do not have that luxury right now. We do not. Okay? And for several reasons. Even if you believe that you will never be one of the ones getting caught up like in the ice sweeps, right?
Right.
Or any of the other things that seem to be happening to other people. Even if you believe that, you should still be paying attention because you need to know if you want life abroad, what is still viable? Because I certainly, as an American citizen, would not want to move to a country that now views America as an enemy. And that list is growing. Okay, so we're blurry and frozen and there is a delay. Okay, are we really plugged in?
Yes, I'm plugged into the cord over there. We have...
And it's in there. We're plugged in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, you guys.
And we got full bars and Wi-Fi, so.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's looking better now. I don't know what's going on. Connection is unstable. So, okay, we're going to continue going. We're going to continue going.
Off of the wire? It just doesn't make sense why we show that.
No, that doesn't seem logical, does it? We're going to continue going as we check this, you guys. So we are in Medellín. We are telling you it is time to go. It is time to go. I'm in the wrong place. I'm trying to do two things at once, y'all. Okay, everything's saying connected.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But once in a while, it could be we are using a third-party app called StreamYard. It could be a StreamYard thing. It's hard to tell. It's just too hard to tell. The Zoom call was very clear. Exactly.
Yeah.
So who knows? Audio is good, but visual is still foggy. Of course, the fogginess could be that we're trying not to let you see all of our wrinkles. and the lights.
But then
And the
we're
lights.
too also kind of backlit.
Yeah, we're kind of backlit because we've got a sunlight above us. Anyway, look, y'all, we're gonna get right to it. We've been chitty chatting for 5 minutes now. The bottom line is that I think that we need to open our minds to what is possible. I think that too many of us have kept the notions and the information that we had growing up, the 80s and 90s, right? A lot of people, when we say Colombia, they're like, Colombia?
Yeah.
And we're like, y'all, Colombia.
It's not Colombia of the old.
Y'all, Colombia. Now, we've only been here, what, 4 days?
4 days. But do you feel safe?
I feel safe.
Oh my God.
Right.
They got one of the most beautiful malls, huge malls that I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
These people love their fashion.
And we'll talk a little bit about that. And they love their dogs. Here in Medellín, anyway. And so what we want to talk about today is reasons why you should consider Medellín and why you should consider Colombia, as well as hear from you guys, because the thing about it is that they are cranking up the heat. The melon felon is cranking up the heat. Last week, on Thursday, we were talking to you about Chicago, right? And what is going on in Chicago. And the fact that we got 4 girls who are missing, right? And all of that when the bee started attacking.
that bee was sent here. He was sent here.
I think so. But anyway. And don't you know, the very next day, a lizard drops upon my computer it was only about this big, and still, I would be willing to live here. All right. I would be willing to live here. So for those of you who are new to our channel, hey y'all, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, we talk about travel, and we talk about life abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even abroad.
Abroad is great and early is even better.
Early is lovely. Let me tell y'all, early is lovely. We have been, so Action VJ said that we had abandoned our neighborhood. Because we have been gone so long. We have been gone, as some of you know, since
almost a month.
September 15th. We flew out September 15th.
Yeah, 3 days away.
This is what financial freedom looks like, y'all. This is what financial freedom looks like. And if you want this life, we want it for you too. Okay? So for those of you who might not know, back in 2018, we got a wake-up call. We were getting close to our to retirement age, and we looked at our money. Y'all, it looked crazy. But we got our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. Y'all, if we can do that, you can do it too. You can do it.
Yes, you can.
You can do it, okay? And so if you need help with that, we got you. We've got the Ready to Retire Toolkit. That's free. It's in the description below. We have Beyond the Bling. That is our financial freedom program that comes with monthly group coaching. That information is in the description below. And I'm sure someone like Action VJ or Greta might be at Exodus Summit is putting it in the chat. And any of you who are at Exodus Summit and then you came over here, thank y'all. Thank y'all, because I know that they are rocking it at Exodus Summit, and I want to get back over there. So yeah, the list is growing fast, Benita. The list is growing fast. All right. So please subscribe. We know we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, y'all, because this is so important. When we talk to folks and they do not know what's going on, when we talk to folks and they still think that they have to work until they die, when we talk to folks and they don't know that you don't have to be James Baldwin to live a life abroad, then we know that our message is not getting out to enough people. So we need each one of you who is listening, who thinks that this information is important, to share this information with somebody.
Pass it on, yes.
If you're not subscribed and you thought you were, just make sure that you are. You can like it so that YouTube knows that this is something that needs to be sent out. And that's one way that you can support the channel. And then hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. All right. And with that, Medellín. Medellin, y'all. And that's not even scratching the surface.
No.
That is not even scratching the surface. I don't know where my mouse is. I'm trying to scroll down to see what y'all are talking about. So yeah, we hung out with Christopher and Monica. Hey, Monica. Hey, Christopher, if you guys are watching. We had so much fun. Monica introduced us to authentic Colombian food.
Oh
I had this wonderful soup. To me, it's like a Colombian corn chowder / pozole type of thing going on. It was so good. I still have leftovers.
Yeah, we've been eating leftovers.
Quite a bit, right? Yep. So, yep, we got
to. You know, she doesn't finish a meal. So.
No, I don't. It's better than Panama. And it's okay. It's interesting because being born and raised in a border town of Mexico, right? There's certain assumptions that we have about Latin America that are untrue. And one is that everything is highly seasoned. And no, the food here is not highly seasoned. But I've only had one truly traditional meal, and that was yesterday. And I did need a little salt and pepper, but it was good. Okay, Danielle. I'm saving every penny to get to, need contacts for residency, banking, etc. I'm doing a lot of research on my own and someone in the country who knows. Okay, so one of our friends, you see I'm wearing Black Expats in Panama, okay, Charlotte, also has contacts here in Medellin, okay? And so contact Charlotte, start there. Okay, start with Charlotte because she runs Black expats in Medellin as well as Black expats in Panama. And so she can at least show you who to contact. Because again, I'm going to tell you, you just don't want to try to DIY this stuff. If you don't have to, try not to. If you don't have to, try not to. All right. And so we're going to go through everything that we've been that we've done here. I'm still looking for a haircut, so we'll talk about that the next time we see you. But we did go to a pharmacy. Yeah, plenty of barbers. We went to a pharmacy and did that stuff. We went grocery shopping a couple of times. We've gone to the mini markets. We've gone to various types of restaurants, we've taken Ubers, etc., and we've walked and we've walked and we've walked, as you saw. So we've got a lot of opinions on how we feel about Medellin so far, and even just like yesterday, my suitcase broke, so I've got to get a new suitcase. And so we'll probably go to another mall today. Might as well go today as opposed to tomorrow, because we've got a lot going on tomorrow. We're going to be shooting a lot more tomorrow and Tuesday. Maybe take the drone up, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll have a lot more to show you than just what we've shown you so far.
We are in the rainy season. So.
But this is the rainy season. And so yesterday we had to hang out inside because it literally rained. After they picked us up, I thought I could wear sandals. After they picked us up, and we got to the restaurant. It rained from the time we got to the restaurant until we went to bed, until this morning, actually. So, but it's not cold. It's not cold rain. It's just, and it's not like a real muggy rain. It's just rain. So it is what it is. But before we say hi to folks, I just want to talk about the vibe in general, because we've now had a chance to walk around for a while. And so we are staying, there's two areas that are supposed to be the more upper scale areas. And I know I sound totally like an expat, y'all, but I want a soft landing for you all. And it's not going to be a soft landing if you are in an environment that you are uncomfortable in. And so these two neighborhoods, I can pretty much guarantee you that almost no matter what apartment you choose, it will meet your expectations, your basic expectations of what we expect as Americans, okay? And that's not any shade or judgment or anything like that. That is just
how it is.
How it is. All right. And so those two neighborhoods are Laureales or L'Orealis. That's how you kind of say it in English. And then Poblado. I think it's Poblado.
Poblado.
Yeah. Poblado is, I wouldn't want to live there because it's more hilly. And there's a lot more hotels, and a lot more hotels mean a lot more tourists. But cool malls, great restaurants, nightlife, hangout scene, and all of that. And then at the bottom of the hill, I think where we had dinner, I don't know, or lunch, I don't know what that neighborhood is called, but that is the nightlife neighborhood. And it's kind of like 10 minutes down the hill from Poblado. But not quite on the L'Orealis side of town. And they are on opposite sides of town. So much so that sometimes people don't feel like, oh, is it way over there? Okay, I don't feel like going over there. Those are people, in my opinion, who have not mastered public transportation, because the public transportation, from what we understand, is pretty holistic and dependable and good, right? And affordable, okay, and safe and clean. All of the things like Lisbon, like Portugal, right? All of the things that we would expect. What else, sweetheart, from the vibes?
I like the vibe of the people. People are laid back.
Yeah.
Laid back, willing to help you, willing to help a stranger, if if it comes to it.
Willing to help with Spanish. I've been getting Spanish lessons all week long, y'all. Yeah. I've been making everybody give me a Spanish lesson. ¿Cómo se dice? They're probably like, look, I didn't sign up for all this.
Yeah. But I mean, the people, how we, interacting with them and stuff like that has been great. Like we said, they love their dogs. People are constantly out walking their dogs and want to offer you directions, help you find something, help you get somewhere. Yeah. The stores, grocery stores were cool.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, so we haven't, and we're going to go to. There's a Price Mart. They're in Mexico as well. They're in Panama as well, I believe. They're definitely in Panama. I believe they're in Mexico. It's kind of a Costco-y, San Marti type of place. So we haven't gone there, but we're going to go. We're going to go to this other mall and check that out, just so we can let you guys know about the amenities here, right? The things that will just make it easier. Now, I'm not saying stick with the things that you know. What I'm saying is it's a place to start, because when you land in a new country and you haven't been visiting a lot before, maybe you've just visited the one time,
Right.
you know, it's just easier if you go to, if you know the places to go to get what you need, not necessarily at the best price. You'll figure that out after you get to a place. You'll figure that out with the major chains and the this and that, so that you know what to expect. And the grocery store, the only thing that they didn't have in this major chain grocery store is rotisserie chicken. They didn't have
didn't
that
see that.
kind of area, but they did have a restaurant attached to it, but they weren't selling like what they, I guess you could get what they were selling to go, you know, like in a Kroger's or something, where they have the deli section and the
Right.
hot area section. And they have that in basically every single major grocery store in Portugal as well. Even in the small ones, if they don't have a deli section, they'll have a little deli end cap where with the hot, you know, rotisserie
Right.
chickens that they're cooking in the back somewhere. But they don't have.
They didn't have that.
They didn't
No.
have that.
At
Now
least not that store we went to.
at that store, and that was super new, super
Super
moo,
Moon.
super moo. There's Eshilo, it's like exit, EXITO, with the accent over the E, the first E, or the only E. We haven't been there yet, but that's supposed to be like a super Target. So, so we'll check that out. We'll check out the major malls and stuff, the other major mall in Medellin as well, because I still got to get my suitcase. I saw the suitcase that I wanted, but they didn't have the size that I wanted at the other mall. And we were told that their store in this other mall is bigger and we'll have more inventory. So we're going to go check that out for y'all, and we'll film that and let you know how that is. So that's the basic vibe. And let's say hello to some folks who are in the chat. And then we'll go on from there and talk about the visa stuff. Now, I don't know a lot about the visa stuff, but I did do some research on the basics. Okay. All right. Hey, Badia. Good to see you. What good living and peace looks like. You two are remarkable, and we appreciate you both. Thank you. We appreciate you too. Hey, Greta, good to see you. No worries about any typos, y'all. Hey, ABX girl, James Greer's in the house. And Dr. Cheryl is in the house, right? And CK is in the house. Allison is in the house. All the folks who hung out with us behind the scenes, right? Did you see the pictures, y'all, from Medellin? Like the pictures of the neighborhood that we're staying in? Is that not gorgeous? We are staying in an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. It is so pretty. Yeah. I mean, going out in the morning, I woke up this morning and went to look for some pastry. Now, I'm not seeing the pastry here like I'm used to in Mexico and in Portugal. Not that my behind needs no pastry, but this morning it was warm and cool at the same time. It was warm enough just to have on a light, short sleeves and maybe a light jacket or something like that. Folks were walking around with their dogs and stuff. And if you wanted to get a jog in or something like that, it was cool enough that you wouldn't just be, doing one of these things, right? So, hola, buenas tardes. Actually, yeah, it is tardes. Right? It is TARDIS. Hey, Francine, good to see you.
That's a big day.
Be a friend and hit that like button. What you don't want is the bee to start taking over again. Hey, Abundance Now. Tana Rose is in the house. Camelo, Ballerina, Evelyn, good to see you.
Hey. Thought I saw Killer Queen in there too.
Did we see Killer Queen?
Killer Queen was in there.
Okay. So we gave our thoughts a little bit, Ballerina, on Thursday about Panama. And so I think Panama would be on our list. Here's the thing. As Black Americans, we need to make sure that we are remaining nimble and that we have choices, okay? Because we are witnessing the fast or slow, I have no idea, it depends on white folks' demise of Western dominance, okay? And what we know, what we grew up knowing and believing. And so if you understand that, then thinking that Europe is your forever home and you're only 50 years old, I hope that is but you might want to reconsider, as Rick just said, right? You might want to reconsider because I don't know what's going on. And so Portugal is still my first choice today, but Panama was great. Medellin is hitting the spot. We haven't gone to Bogota, and we're not going to Bogota this trip. We'll be in the Bogota airport, and that's about it. We will be in other parts of Colombia, and then we've got another stop after that before we head back to Mexico. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. All right, who else is in the chat today? Hello, Michelle and Bonita. El Camelo is in the house. Okay, hopefully we're not blurry or any of that stuff anymore. I'm hoping that went away. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Don. Good to see you. I was thinking about you. Hey, Helen. Yakota is in the house. Francine is in the house. Michelle. Danielle, ABX Girl says, hola, my family has visa for Colombia, Medellin, Belém, and it's been great. Oh, your family has their visa for Colombia in Medellin. And so I see Belém. I'm pronouncing it like a Portuguese, y'all. And it's not even spelled the same way.
No.
It's not even spelled the same way. That's how bad it is right now. So, okay. So we were a bit pixelated, but hopefully it's okay now. Hopefully it is okay now. Hey, Killer Queen, I want to know from y'all, how are you all feeling? Because in talking to some of our friends, what we have found is that people don't realize that the pot is on boil right now, y'all. And we cannot sit back and think we've got 2-3 years. We don't. Okay. And so we might want to speed that up, especially if you are living in a place that's targeted, right? If you're living in a place where folks around you are targeting you, you might want to rethink that year and see if there's any way that you can speed that up, right?
The Queen said she was here in January.
For me, it was okay. Certainly wouldn't want to live there. Interesting. Now, I don't know what the weather was like in January. I don't know if that's still rainy season as it is now. But yeah, where we are staying here in Medellin, and again, and Killer Queen is retired as well. We don't have to try to find a job or anything like that. But for everyday living, the vibe is on. The vibe is on and popping. Of course she's going to win.
Yeah.
Of course she's going to win. We know she's going to win. But the point is, right, ABX Girl, the point is that they're doing it. That they're doing it. And why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. That's what you need to do.
Distraction.
That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Y'all, Medellin has a vibe. I will have to leave soon for Rashid's Exodus Summit chat. Y'all, the fact that we are missing out, I know. And as a matter of fact, we are going to speed this up because we know that we are competing with Exodus Summit, and I have a ticket and I want to get back and see it too. So thank you, Wanda, for tuning in. I'm going to mark any other questions and then we will get to them. So let's just talk about the highlights that we've seen so far in Medellin and what we think about all of the different things. And then we'll take your questions and let you go. So first, let's talk about the pharmacy visit. So I have something that's going on with my body right now. And in the States, I would have to make a doctor's appointment to get get a prescription. Now, what's going on is pretty typical and should not really necessarily be. It should be kind of over the counter. And in America, some of those products are over the counter and then some aren't, depending. Excuse me. Here, I went and because I don't want to make mistakes and try to use my Spanish when we're talking about, the health of my body.
Medical stuff, yeah.
Excuse me. So I did look up how to say what I wanted to say. And I said, this is what's going on. And the first things that he started to give me, I was like, okay, no, you're misunderstanding. So I clarified and he said, yes, yes, yes. And he was kind of going through it and looking some stuff up. But bottom line is, excuse me, I got an antibiotic over the counter for exactly what I needed it for. And it ended up being $16. $16. All right, I'll let you tell yours while I see what's going on with my throat.
Oh, I just went and got looking for been having issues with my knee, been swelling up on me and stuff like that. So I just looking for ice pack, put on my knee and stuff like that, and found a medical store in the mall.
Yep.
And, very inexpensive. Found an ice pack that I could throw in the freezer, freeze it up, throw it on my knee.
A reusable. But you got something else when I got at the pharmacy. What else were you looking for?
At the pharmacy? No, I got an ice pack and some Q-tips.
Oh, and then the Q-tips. Anti-inflammatory that you got in Panama.
That was in Panama.
Yeah. But they sell that here as well.
They do sell it here, but I just got a big supply of it in Panama.
Right. And so, and they don't even, I've never heard of this. And so it's like a drink.
Yeah, it's like an orange drink, like Tang type drink, and it has all the different things in it.
And it's supposed to take away inflammation.
It's supposed to take away the inflammation and help with pain and stuff like that. It's no drugs in it, but it's good. And that was referred to me by Craig.
Right.
Because I guess a lot of men, expat men in their groups and stuff like that have been using it for their knees. Yeah. And I just started having issues with my knee.
Exactly. So yeah, we didn't have to go to a doctor. The pharmacist, and you will find this in a lot of other countries, y'all, that the pharmacist has been given enough power for simple things to go ahead and prescribe it. Now, opioids and things like that, and serious stuff,
narcotics, you can't.
They're not going to necessarily prescribe.
Xanax, because you can buy Xanax. I bought Xanax in Mexico over the counter.
Okay. So yeah, that's not surprising.
And my doctor used to prescribe it to me when I was flying and stuff, because I used to be crazy nervous flyer. I'm not anymore, but.
So yeah, the pharmacist just assisted, so we didn't have to worry about that. The traffic here, it's out of control. It's just as bad. Well, I don't know. I was about to say it's just as bad as Bangkok, but no.
It's, what reminds you of Bangkok is motorcycles and the scooters.
Yeah.
Because they'd be weaving and bobbing, and oh my God.
Yeah, and bobbing in and out. Now, the amount of scooters and motorcycles does remind me of Bangkok, but there's not as many people.
In Bangkok.
Yeah, and not as many people, period. I'm telling you. But they do drive kind of crazy. Excuse me. Now, here's the thing. We thought they drove crazy in Lisbon, and they do, but we're used to it now. And so we understand the rhythm of the traffic in Lisbon. So if you want to hang out with us before we go live every single Sunday, for the most part, not every, but 95 to 98% of the time. The folks who hung out with us got to get a little tour of our little Airbnb, et cetera, et cetera. Every single channel member gets to hang out with us, ask questions and chitty chat and all of that kind of stuff. And so the Airbnbs here, This Airbnb is supposed to be a guest favorite. I booked it at the last minute. It happened to be available. And for the week, it was under $400. So I don't know if that's cheap or inexpensive. I hate the word cheap. Cheap implies that it is not a value. So as far as inexpensive, that's a relative term, right? I think that's inexpensive, but somebody else may not. And maybe somebody from Colombia may say that's expensive. I don't know. Yeah.
So something that I'm not crazy about, and I don't know how true it is, it seems to be the right of way for pedestrians here and in Panama.
Yes, yes, yes.
You will get your ass run over.
We're used to pedestrians having the right of way.
Yeah.
Pedestrians have the right of way in LA and in Colorado and in Portugal, or at least Lisbon. Apparently, they don't in Panama. They don't act like it in Panama City. And apparently they don't here in Colombia or in Medellin. So if you are a resident of Medellin or a citizen of Colombia, let us know.
Yeah, help clarify that.
Because it doesn't seem like we have the right of way. And I don't be stepping out there. And I don't see anybody else just stepping out there either. So even though the area that we are living in for this next week is very, very, very walkable. The sidewalks are fine and just what you would expect. Yes, they've got the whoop-de-doos and stuff around some tree roots and thing like that here and there, just like every city does, right? But by and large, there are sidewalks everywhere. You never have to worry about running out of a sidewalk or something like that. And we have walked just everywhere we've gone, except for when we were hanging out yesterday with friends. We have walked everywhere we have gone. And with no issues, night and day. And folks, and the first and second night that we were walking home from dinner, we saw women walking alone or with dogs along with their dog, but not with another human being.
Right. And not big dogs either.
And yeah, not guard dogs, not something that little yippy yappies. Right?
Yappers.
So the contact for Colombia is Charlotte. Charlotte, expats in Panama, expats in Medellin. Look, the Facebook group. Charlotte is in charge of both of them. Okay. And she is the one that everybody knows for Panama. She is also the one who runs the Facebook group here. She does tours here and things like that. So she's got the contacts. All right.
And she is one amazing person.
Yeah, she's about business.
She's totally about business.
Okay, she is about that business. Steve says Medellin is a very cool place. The city is eternal spring and very health conscious. Since he brought it up.
No, you're going to go there.
We'll talk about the one negative. The one positive. The positive is, well, we've already talked about a lot of positives. The one positive out of the negative is apparently Medellin and Colombia in general is according to some locals, plastic surgery capital of Latin America. Just like Miami may be for America or Hollywood. And it shows. And apparently, even people who kind of can't afford to get it here. These young ladies walking around here, and I want to say little girls, because some of them look so young. They look like, 16 and 17.
Goodness, yeah.
And they've got so much makeup on and stuff that they look airbrushed. And they're like, I was in the bathroom, washing my hands and, getting my sanitizer with my lotion and doing all of these things. And I'm going to call her a little girl, but she probably was about, 21, 22 years old, sit there and fiddle with her hair. That was just straight hair for like 5 minutes. Oh, wait, maybe I need 2 strings over here and 1 string over there. Oh, no, 2 strings over here and 1 string over there. I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? And all the young ladies are gorgeous. They're all gorgeous. Yeah. They are gorgeous. But my goodness, the attention to the outer, when I don't see as much attention to the inner, makes me a bit uncomfortable with this not I don't and this is not necessarily true with the grown ass adults. I didn't see that necessarily with the grown ass women. These are the young ladies. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's a TikTok. I
It's the
don't know.
TikTok. This is the TikTok generation.
It's disturbing. It is very, very disturbing. And I want to know what they need to look so picture perfect for. For whom? And it doesn't seem like it's for themselves. So if it's not for themselves, then who? It's just crazy. All right. I'm marking these questions. Querétaro. All right. And we're going to be heading back to Mexico, y'all. I will let you guys know if we're going to do a meetup, but we are, yeah. So the mall, that was the Santa Fe Mall in Poblado, I believe. That scarf that I had on was a gift from someone. They gave it to me in Querétaro. And so, I love wearing gifts because it reminds me of that person. And so, that mall is on point. We kind of got lost in there,
but we didn't see all of it.
And we did not even see all of it. That is for sure. All right. So let's get to some of these questions. What else? All right, so Wanda's saying, I'm going to pursue getting my visas for Georgia, Albania, and the Philippines. Wow, it's easy to get visas with no income requirements for those countries. What are your thoughts? Okay, so the Philippines, out of all of the Philippines probably has the biggest Black English-speaking community out of those three. Yeah. Albania, Albania and Georgia obviously are new to this game because they were part of the Soviet Union before. And so with that, there's a lot of unknowns. I've heard the most about Georgia. Okay. And I've heard good things about Georgia. I haven't heard negative things about Albania necessarily. Have you?
No, I've never heard anything bad about Albania.
The one thing, folks, that you're going to have to keep in mind, and I will say, I was going to save this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now, even for here in Medellin, I have yet to see a large, cohesive Black English-speaking community. Okay. There's lots of Black people here, of course, because it's Colombia. But they speak Spanish, right?
But Tim was mentioning that there was a fairly large Black community.
He was mentioning that there are Black people here. That does not make it a community. Y'all get what I'm saying? So there's opportunity. Just because there are Black people here does not mean that there's community. And I'm not saying that there is, and I'm not saying that there isn't. We're going to try to see. Apparently they have a breakfast every Saturday. We missed the one last Saturday and we won't be here for the next Saturday. So we can't, participate in that. So I don't want to drop any shade, but this is what I believe. I believe that the majority of the Black people who consider Medellin are younger because of what they hear, right? Because of the price. The girls are beautiful. We saw the passport bros in the line. We saw the passport bros in the line, in the immigration line, okay? So I'm not going to tell you that that's not true. But what I'm also going to tell you is I believe that the 50-plus generation is missing a huge opportunity here in Medellin to live an amazing quality of life for a very, very good price. That's what I'm saying. And so, getting back to Georgia and Albania and even the Philippines, unlike, there's a reason why Mexico and Portugal keep coming up. Just like there is a reason why the majority of Ethiopians live in Minneapolis and in the Denver area. That's because the people before them, that's where they moved to. And the people before them and the people before them, right? And so they build communities there because they're building networks there, okay? Medellin might be a place where the 50 plus community might have to build more networks. Okay. The person we're going to hopefully interview him owns the Sky Bar here in Medellin. I don't know if he's 50 plus, but he is definitely more closer to our age than closer to the Passport Bros ages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's about business. He has this beautiful restaurant bar that is a Sky Bar and stuff like that. We showed you a bit of it in the video that we showed at the top of the.
Yeah, he was in it too. We showed it.
Yeah, and he was in there as well. But we are definitely trying to schedule an interview so we can talk about what it means to open a business here in Medellin. And he hasn't been here like 8 or 9 years. He's only been here for a few years. All right. So this is a newer immigrant to Colombia who's American, who has opened up a physical brick and mortar business. So we really want to interview him so he can give us some of the ins and outs and the things that he's had to go through that maybe were unexpected, et cetera, for any of you who are thinking about doing something like that. So Wanda, know that you might be one of the ones helping build community in those places. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you need and you're up to the task, there's nothing wrong with that. And I would never take something off the list because of that. I wouldn't. Now, if you're an introverted introvert, then maybe you would. Right? Maybe you would. I don't know. Good to catch another live while it's live. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
Is there anything in either Panama or Medellin that would make you second guess Portugal?
So far, no.
No, and to me,
I need to see more Medellin.
We need to see more.
I really like Portugal. Panama. I really did like Panama.
Yeah. It's a lot smaller. Colombia physically is a large country. I mean, it's not Brazil. It's not that size, but it's a large country. And so we haven't seen all of Medellin. We've still got some days to go. We're going to do some touristy tours, but some city tours so we can see more, and then we'll know where to go back to. So, but yeah, no, nothing that has made us second guess like, oh, did we make a wrong choice? Right. Absolutely not. But are there other choices that could be maybe just as good? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I would even consider, I don't know what the laws are like here yet or anything like that. But one thing that we do know is that Western democracy, Western dominance is going by the wayside, and Colombia and other countries in the global South are going to be the ones to watch and perhaps invest in and things like that. So from that standpoint as well, I would definitely be considering Colombia and even Panama. They got some work to do, but even Panama. Some of the things that's going on with the canal, it's like I don't understand. So I need to read some more about how the government is handling that, and making sure that the melon felon does not get a hold of it, and that they keep that for their own country, for their own people. So, girl, no, we ain't moving. I hate to move. I hate moving. I hate it. The Zoom call is very clear. Okay, yeah. So, and I think the main modem is in here.
It's right there.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't have any of those bug problems when I was in. I think you meant Medellin. What's going on? And so I haven't seen any roaches in this apartment. I haven't seen any ants in this apartment. But a bee did get in, and a lizard. But we are in, basically like a rainforesty type place, even though we're up at 4,000 feet or so in the air, it's still very, very tropical. So of course there's lizards, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more lizards. When we were in Puerto Vallarta, the lizards were like Florida.
They were everywhere.
And like Florida, the lizards are like roaches, right? Little bitty baby roaches. I remember when I got into an outdoor shower to rinse off at the beach, and the lizards went they just started spreading everywhere. That's it. I don't get grossed out about that.
No.
I just don't. I think they're kind of cute, actually, as long as they're not up in my face, like on my computer, like the one was just yesterday, or no, the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday. But yeah, we haven't. But I haven't seen like scorpions and this and that and all of that. No, I haven't seen any of that.
I mean, yeah, you live in the areas.
I'm sure they're somewhere. If you're living next to green belts or things like that, you might run into that.
Expect to see them.
But the area that we are in is very developed with a lot of large high-rise apartments, as well as some mid-range apartments, and even just 2-story and 3 stories that have probably been here from the beginning. Francia Marquez was born into poverty, had a child at a young age, became a lawyer, and their first Afro-Caribbean vice president. Yes, I did know that that Colombian's vice president, she is Black, presents as Black, I should say. We must follow her in the news as an activist. Yes. And just another reason to say Colombia is on the comeback, y'all. This is not the Colombia of the 80s and 90s. This is not the Colombia of the 80s and 90s. They've gotten their stuff together. And here's the thing. We have to make sure that the melon felon does not start trying to bully these governments like they are bullying Venezuela. Now, I know that a good portion of the people in Venezuela have not liked that dictator for a very, very long time. As y'all know, my tutor is Venezuelan. Her family is Venezuelan, born and raised. Her parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, all Venezuelan, Black Venezuelans, okay? They have not been into him, and I'm not going to give her name because they are under a dictatorship. They're under a dictatorship. And the chick who won the Nobel Peace Prize is a Trumper. But she believes in democracy, unlike Trump. And I don't think she realizes Trump doesn't believe in democracy. So, so they're fiddling around with that regime and trying to talk about they're going to topple that government and regime change and all this other nonsense. So we definitely need to make sure that we are being loud about them staying out of other folks' business. Clean your own house up first, and then worry about somebody else's house. Right? I think Colombian police like us as foreigners more than they like native-born Afro-Colombians. There's an artisan who sells at the market getting regularly roused by officers on camera. Probably. It's a classism thing, you guys. It's a classism thing, and it's a racism thing. Racism is global. I'm not going to say, and it is the same in Portugal as well. Okay, so those Black Portuguese who are not living the Jefferson's life, right? Who are like the second Black person that I came in contact with in Portugal was a pharmacist. Okay,
yeah.
The first was the grocer. But those folks who are not the pharmacist, who are not the grocer and things like that in Portugal, they do get harassed. We don't get harassed. And some of that probably is age as well, right? Because if we were younger, maybe, but the boss is young and he doesn't get harassed. So I think that it is a class thing. And then if you are in certain neighborhoods, the assumptions, right? Which, I'm not going to get into another country's politics. I'm going to let those Afro-Caribbeans, get their energy and get their knowledge from wherever they feel like they need to and get their strength. And if they need some advice from us, we will be there on the sidelines to help them out, right? So.
No, I
already showed you that. If I already have Mexican residency, should I just go with that than to take the time for Portugal residency? That's up to you, Jackie, and what's going on in your life, right? I like to have more than one egg in the basket, okay? Portugal, if you get Portuguese residency, you're living in Portugal. You know that. And so if you want to live in Portugal, If you want to live in Mexico, then do not get Portuguese residency, obviously. But if you really want to get Portuguese residency, I believe that it is worth it. It is a pain in the ass. It is. I'm not going to lie. It is not easy. It's straightforward, but it is not easy. It is complex, but straightforward. And it is a pain in the butt, and it is not cheap. It is not inexpensive. So you really have to want to live in Portugal. To me, Portugal is a magical place. I think the people who come to Portugal are of a certain spirit. And Jackie, you have that spirit. And I think the Portuguese people are a special people. And I think they have a special spirit, maybe because of what they've gone through and what they've done in the past and what they've reconciled with. I don't know. But I do know that they're kind. That's what I know. And they still believe in the good parts of the old-fashioned stuff, right? The respecting your elders, the making sure moms are taken care of, that part, the good stuff. So from that point of view, I love Portugal. And I'm not going anywhere unless Putin makes us go somewhere or Portugal says, yeah, your time's up. So if they kick us out, then we're going to Mexico. But otherwise, Portugal's the place for us for now, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's worth it, but only you know. Only you know if it's worth it for you. Hornitos Pandaria Pasteleria has delicious pan y pastelerias. So you had them in Bogota. I saw Hornitos. Hornitos. Have we seen that? Y'all, their Starbucks is called Juan Valdez. Yes, that Juan Valdez. What was that? Was that?
Well, they have
Coffee?
Starbucks.
Yeah, they have Starbucks.
No, it's not Juan.
Yeah, but Juan Valdez used to sub, right? They licensed it out to either Folgers or Taster's Choice or something. Remember they showed?
Yeah.
Okay, let us know in the chat because it's gonna bug us. It's gonna, but don't look it up. Somebody's gonna let us know in the chat. Somebody's gonna let us know in the chat. But anyway, so Hornitos, we'll have to. I'm gonna write that down, and then we'll have to see if they've got that here in Medellin.
I almost want to say it was I don't think it was Folgers. I don't think it was Folgers.
I don't remember. There's Maxwell House.
It wasn't Maxwell House. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. We're preparing for the nor'easter heading up the northeast coast. What wrinkles is beautiful? What wrinkles? Wait, what is that? Oh, that was a love. Oh, that's a heart. What wrinkles is beautiful? I want to see. I want to see the borealis and all of that. And I heard that you don't have to go as far as I thought you had to go to see it. I think you can see it from Scotland. I think Adelia said you can see it from Scotland. Y'all, is that right? And we don't have to go all the way up to like the never reaches of Iceland.
No, you don't have to go that far up, I don't think.
Let us know. Planning my move within the next year or so. I'm an elementary school teacher and plan to get electrician certificate too as something to have as well. Any advice? Yeah, you're not going to move anywhere and work, DJ. Okay? That's not the plan. That is not the plan because you're looking to move to a lower cost of living, unless you're going to move to Canada or Australia or London, right? Or England, Ireland, Scotland. You're moving to a lower cost of living, which means they pay you less. That's number one. Number two, they've got plenty of electricians wherever you're going. They don't need you. Okay, so don't get that certificate. Do not get that certificate. That's a waste of money unless you're staying where you're at. All right. What we want to do is we want to figure out, and I'm sure if you're watching us, you are old enough to be a guru at something. You're an elementary school teacher. Teach people how to teach.
Yeah.
Teach teachers how to teach us. Create a course because they're getting rid of DEI and all of that. But teachers will still want and need to know how to teach us. Teach them how to teach our history in a way that's meaningful for elementary school kids that will resonate. There's lots of things that you can do. You do not need another certificate.
And you don't know what the certifications in other countries are anyway.
Exactly. And the electricity is different in other countries.
It's different.
Unless, well, here it's the same voltage, but in Europe, it's a different voltage. In South Africa, it's a different voltage. In Asia, it's a different voltage. Where you move into with it, you see what I'm saying? So you got to don't think American. And this is let me take DJ off, because this is not just DJ. This is a lot of folks, okay? Because this is the way we thought. Because this is what we thought, the James Baldwins and stuff were doing. We could only be an artist or something like that and be able to move abroad. We have the internet, folks. The internet is the way you make money, okay? So the only DJ as a certified elementary school teacher, you can get a TOEFL and teach English abroad, or you can teach without getting that, you can teach at a what are they called? International
schools. Yeah.
Right? You can do that and make some decent money. But other than that, they don't want you to come take a job away from one of their people. And so even if you could get an electrician certificate in all the different kinds of voltages and that are happening around the world, why would they want you to come take a job away from their people, right? Just like we say the same thing in America. Oh, they're taking away our jobs, blah, 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 right? Right? Okay, so we have the Side Hustle Challenge. We have the Side Hustle Community, the Financial Freedom Lab, and we meet every second Saturday of the month. We met yesterday with everybody who has taken the Side Hustle Challenge in the past. You were invited. You were invited to join the ongoing community so we can lift each other up and start supporting each other with our businesses that we're building. And when I say businesses, that doesn't mean that you're going to be hiring 10 people, opening up a brick and mortar necessarily, or any of those things. Your business could simply be coming on YouTube and going live once a week and selling a course. And you can make millions doing that. Yes, you can make millions doing that. Are we making millions doing it? No, but we do know people who do. We just don't want to work that hard. Okay. So that's how we're going to do the move abroad thing. We're not going to think conventionally, especially not in the days of AI. We're not going to think conventionally. Now, of course, AI has a long way to go before taking an electrician's job away. But I bet you one thing, it can take the person who maps out the electricity for a build, taking their job away, taking up the HVAC person who designs the HVAC system, taking that job away. Yep, it's coming, y'all. It's coming. So collect your coins, save your coins, and only spend on what you really need to be happy and to be safe and healthy, right? Hey, Lee. Hey, y'all. All right. We have been on over an hour, and I didn't want to keep you guys that long. Do you guys have your own apartment or house in Mexico? No. No. You don't have to. So we have permanent residency in Mexico. That means whenever we show up, as long as they are accepting the residency permits from Americans, we get to come. And we don't have to prove where we're staying because we have permanent residency. So no, we don't own a house. We ain't rolling like that. We don't own a house that we just, flitter to, every 2 years or anything like that. No, we just stay in an Airbnb. Last time, we stayed with our friends, Lamar and Angela. So yeah, pasteleria. I know I've seen the pastelerias Ashira, but when I look in the window, I'm not seeing what I want. I'm not seeing the things that I want. I'm seeing a lot of savory pastries and not enough sweet pastries with the fruit and things like that. More French pastries. Derek says, earthquakes in the Philippines. Ooh, okay. Okay, so hopefully we don't have the blurry screen anymore. But so yeah, see, I didn't know that about the Philippines. I should have, but earthquakes are kind of everywhere. CK asks, is step 2 getting the residency card in Portugal being extended from 3 months to 9 months to prevent lawsuits due to the delays? Probably. So does one need to? No, not lawsuits, CK. Only Americans do that shit. Okay. America is the only place that is so damn litigious. So no, they didn't do it to avoid lawsuits. They did it to stop pissing people off, but not to avoid lawsuits. The only way that they would get sued is if they persecuted someone because of their negligence, but they're not persecuting anybody. So what you gonna sue for? Right? Now in America, they make up some stuff because America loves to sue. America loves to sue. But it depends. So do you anticipate staying in the country 9 months before you can bop around? We had to, and they weren't even dealing with the stuff that they were dealing with now. So when we got our answer October 31st, 2022. We left the United States June 2022. We got our answer October 30, late October 2022, And then our appointment for immigration to give them the stuff in person and to give the biometrics and get our card did not happen until June 2023. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 8 months. 8 months. And this was way back then, y'all. Again, either you want Portugal or you don't. Either you want to live and look. Either you want Portugal or you don't. And even with all of that, I would still do it all over again. We have an amazing family in Portugal. Amazing. They got our backs. They're just, it's like I've known them all of my life, y'all. And so between our Black immigrant community and then the kindness of just the people of Portugal and stuff like that. And then the cost of living is so great for what you get. And the infrastructure is there. And all of the amenities that we would expect are there, And then it's easy to hop around to other places. I'm sorry, it's just worth it. And so just pack your patience, y'all. And pack your patience no matter where you go. Pack your patience.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Pack your patience. As far as Colombia goes, they have 2 visas that I saw. Oh gosh, my notes are over there, but that's okay. So the one visa will allow you to come in on a temporary basis. Now you can be the wife, husband, or partner of a Colombian citizen. That's one way. You can be coming here for a job. Yes. You can come here as a retiree and with a proven pension. Okay. And that proven pension doesn't have to be any more than about $1,100 a month. You can come here if you've got passive income. But for the passive income or any kind of remote work, it's got to be upwards of $3,300 a month. Okay. So either you have $1,100 of a guaranteed pension or you have $3,300 worth of passive income, proven passive income coming in per month. And you can get a residency visa here in Colombia. And then once you have been here for 5 years on that visa, then you qualify for what looks like a permanent. I just read all of this on the immigration site, y'all. All you have to do is Google it. Everything I'm telling you, I Googled and I went to the immigration site and read it. All right. And so after you have been here for 5 years, then it looks like you qualify for a permanent residency card or visa. Once you have your residency card here, then you open up your bank account. Okay. Before you have your residency card, Even if you've gotten approved already, apparently it's going to be very difficult for you to open up a bank account until you get your residency card. Okay. So that's the basics of how you get residency here in Colombia. Now, there's a lot more to it, there's probably background checks and this and that and the other, but that's the basics, because usually it's about the money. How much to qualify, right? How much to qualify. Again, if you need more individual help, the person that you need to talk to is Charlotte, expats in Panama. Expats in Panama. She's also running Blacks in Medellín Facebook page. All right. And so she has gotten contacts because she does tours here, relocation tours and things like that to Medellín on a semi-regular basis. All right. D is, hi, Halisi Nick from New Brooklyn. We've known the orange-faced demon was coming, for Tish, right? Since his trial here, that he lost with her, right? He's got some nerve. Of course he's got some nerve, because he's a WEI. He is a WEI, white, entitled, and incompetent, as Larry Daniel Favors says. Thank you, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
Thank you. Y'all know 100% of the super thanks, super chat, all the donation money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. That is our financial freedom program for late bloomers like ourselves. And Dennis gives on a regular basis. And we appreciate you, Dennis. We appreciate you. So U.S. revoked the visa of Colombia's president while in New York for the UN. I remember that, because he was like, I remember that. He went to a rally in Times Square and urged soldiers to disobey the melon felons' orders and respect humanity. I remember that. FYI, check out Guatape. Yeah, that's the big rock. We are definitely going to try to get out there. Our friends who we met up with, and the wife is a Colombian citizen. She was telling us the spots to check out, the touristy spots that we must see, and Guatape was one of them. So, the Rock of Piñol. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. You felt safe without Rick. Would you feel? Yeah. Yes, this morning
she was out by herself.
I went out by myself. First thing this morning to go get some stuff. And it wasn't like the type of foot traffic that's out there in the afternoon and evening, but I felt totally safe. And again, we saw women walking around at night by themselves, and their head was not on the swivel. Their head was not on the swivel. I mean, they weren't just lackadaisical, but their head was not on the swivel. So how do you
like
it compared to Querétaro? I'm not sure Querétaro has enough variety of food for me.
And it's not walkable. Depending on where you live.
Yeah. So if you live in the suburbs of Querétaro, it's not walkable. Excuse me. If you live close to El Centro, it is walkable. Downtown in El Centro, it is walkable. And then from that point, it's just not big enough for me. But Querétaro is cool. Yeah. It's a cool town, and it has the things that you need. It's got an airport and all of that. But I would say it's more for homebodies and family-oriented people. Okay. And I'm too much. To me, a lovely evening is sitting out somewhere, like at some outdoor bar or whatever, having a coffee or wine or whatever, and watching the street performers and the people walk by. That Querétaro is not the place for that. I mean, you can do that in El Centro, but you've got to go down to El Centro to do that. Whereas in Lisbon, you can do it anywhere, right? Here in the neighborhood that we're here in Medellín, you could pretty much do that as
Yeah,
well.
you can do-
Street performers, you must admit, there are areas, maybe more on Fridays and Saturdays where the street performers are. Whereas in Lisbon, because it's so popular now, they're out there every night, right? So yeah, it's just that the city. I am a city girl. I am a city girl with all the stuff of the city. I like it, and I need it. I need the energy of people. So that's me. That's why you need to get the Move Abroad Toolkit. The Move Abroad Toolkit will ask you all of the questions that you. The Move Abroad Toolkit is so good, y'all. We just lost a one-on-one call. This morning, I got a cancellation. And the reason was they said all of the questions that they were going to ask were in the Move Abroad Toolkit. So they're just going to go with the toolkit. And if they have some questions later, then maybe they'll come back around. But everything that they were going to ask was in the Move. That's how good the Move Abroad Toolkit is. I was like, did I write myself out of some money? But look, we're not here to just make money. We are here to spread information. That's why we're here. We are here because we care about our community. And so get the Move Abroad Toolkit. It will ask you all of the questions that you need to ask so that you can find your Black utopia.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there obvious abject poverty like in Panama? Or are there haves separated from the have-nots? I have not seen the same type of abject poverty here yet.
No.
And even in driving from the airport and stuff like that, I have not seen that here yet. But that's here in Medellín. I haven't seen it.
Not saying it's not here.
Not saying it's not here, but
yet.
yeah, haven't seen it. Panama, it's there. It's right there. It's right there. I'm just letting y'all know. All right. What time is it? Let's see how many more questions we have. And then what else do we want to say about Medellín?
You know, I'd encourage folks to check it out. You know, come for a visit. Come see for yourself.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
You just have to. You can't take somebody's word for it because, hey, you might get here and you might feel like Killer Queen.
Right. She was just like, it's all right.
You know, it's okay, but
it's all right.
Wasn't what she was looking for. So always give yourself that option of checking it out for yourself. It's like we're checking it out for ourselves.
Exactly. Because people, we've been telling you to consider Medellín since we launched this channel. Now we can tell you with more authority. And we've got some firsthand experience walking both at night, in the daytime. This is the rainy season. I don't know if this is the worst season. I don't know. But all I know is that if this is what we can expect, anybody in my friend group would be fine here. And maybe even thrilled here. Now, why do I say it that way? Because people need different things. That's why. But I'm just talking because one of the family members says I'm a bit bougie. So even from that standpoint, you have it. I think you should, Janelle, consider Querétaro.
Yeah.
They have a great community, okay? And Lamar and Angela are at the heart of that community in Querétaro, the Black community in Querétaro. And they look out for each other, et cetera, et cetera. They have meetups both for the grown-ass people and for the kids, right? So I think people should consider Querétaro. Again, do your list of wants and needs. If your needs don't include, being able to go to a concert every night, then Querétaro should be on your list. If it does, and it needs to be of a certain caliber, Querétaro is probably not on your list. You see what I'm saying? And most people are like, concert? Yeah, exactly. Some people's like, whatever. Right? Whatever, right? See, Bogota's too cold for it. So Bogota will probably be great for me.
Yeah,
right? I don't mind putting on a jacket. I don't want snow unless I got some boards on my feet.
Yeah, I think that's what Monica mentioned that yesterday. Bogota's a little cold.
Yeah. And and I'd rather put on a jacket than try to stay cool. Okay. And I know, Cartagena is warm. So this will be interesting, but we brought clothes and somebody asked, how did we pack for a 6-week vacation when we were going to places that were warm and then places that were a lot cooler? So we might have to do a video on that because we literally basically just have one big check bag, one small check bag, one carry-on and backpacks, and that's it. And that's it. And my suitcase broke, so I've got to get a new one. So there you go. Thank you, Sorcia. We're American. There's no place more dangerous, even when it comes to theft. And if you live in a major city, do what you would do at home. Okay. There are certain areas you can tell the pickpockety type areas, right? You can tell when folks are scoping, right? Okay. And where there's a lot of people who are just being very lackadaisical with their stuff. It even happens in Lisbon, y'all. It happens in Lisbon. Yeah. Okay. And it does. All right. And so even one of the safest countries in the whole wide world, it happens. But what's not happening is white supremacists shooting up your church. That's what's not happening. Okay. So we got to keep things in perspective. And yes, what we're not going to do is to be goofy and silly and immature and think that, any place is 100% safe.
You always have to be safe, looking out, mindful of where you are, no matter. If I was in Singapore, and I felt Singapore was one of the safest places in the world, but still, I don't know Singapore. I only know what I see and what I experience on Singapore. And I'm still going to be safe. That's just me. Right. And that should be anybody and everybody else. You just can't go somewhere and not expect nothing to ever happen to you. So you just be careful.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
Be mindful.
The two areas that I suggested are what our friend, who is also a Colombian native, suggested. And she also said, as well as my tutor, who is Venezuelan but lived in Colombia for a few years, a lot of years, off and on over the years. Okay. And one of the things that she said is like the area, Poblado, that has a lot of hotels and things like that you will find drogas, you find drugs, and you will find prostitution. That's everywhere. We saw it in South Africa. Mm-hmm. We saw it in Thailand. We see it in Lisbon, in Portugal, and we see it in America. Okay. We have heard the stories of people getting Mickey'd at clubs.
Oh yeah.
But we hear about that in America too. Right? But when it happens someplace else, all of a sudden it's this thing. But all of us know someone who knows someone from when we were a kid, a teenager, in college, whatever have you, right? So use your common sense. And you will be fine. Loree Daniel Favors is one of my favorites. Y'all will hear me quote her often. So I am not trying to steal her stuff. It's on the list, Millie. It is on the list. One of the things that I always want to do is I want to make sure that we get exposed to, especially when we're coming to places that are our former colonies. I want to make sure that we get exposed to the folks who have not had power. I'll put it that way. You get what I'm saying. And so Dr. Wren says she felt safe, or he says I see the picture. Beautiful picture. Felt safe as a solo traveler, right? But yeah, of course, use common sense. Okay. because I wasn't sure if I was going to make sure that we saw that. But now this is like the third person. And you know what? When there's a place where people say you cannot leave that place without, that's a Marie Daniel. Look, WEI, y'all. And everybody in the White House is a WEI hire. Every one of them is unqualified. You're welcome, DJ. You're welcome. What are your thoughts on student loans and moving abroad? I have quite a significant amount. Private college, young and naive. Yeah, I know, me too. The damn student loans. You can make anything work, okay? So I was paying zero on my student loan because when we retired, based upon that income at the time, for the income-based repayment plan, it was zero. These are for public loans. This does not necessarily apply to private loans. I would check out the laws about private loans. I would check out the statute of limitations on private loans, etc. That's all I'm going to say about that. But as far as public loans, student loans go, I got, after the melon felon got in, I got a notification that I was going to have to start paying $600 a month or something. I don't think so. I don't think so, because we are not required to pay anything more than we are required to pay, right? So I called and somebody was saying some stuff I didn't like. So I hung up and I called back and I got somebody who sounded Black. And I started telling her the deal and da-da-da-da. And she started running the numbers. She says, well, based upon what I see, I think we can get you at $40 a month. How does that sound? I said, sounds good. Sign me up. So right now, I am paying $40 a month for something that was almost 20 years ago. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off, but whatever. So I say that to say, work it. Do what you need to do to go where you need to go. Okay? But have a plan, have an emergency fund. So for those of you who are newer, Rick and I saved 2 years worth of living expenses because that's what I needed to feel comfortable. You've got to decide what you need to feel comfortable. And zero is not the answer. Okay? So at least 3 months worth of living expenses minimum, I want you to have, okay? Because I don't want you out there in the international streets talking about, well, our Black Utopia said. No, our Black Utopia did not. No, we did not. Okay. All right. We're about to run out of battery. So, yeah, we are. It's getting low. All right. Retirement visa is affordable. Is affordable and not a long process. Okay. I feel thus may be a good substitute if Mexico is too expensive for many. Okay. Here we go with somebody else who knows, who's been through it, right? Or who is going through it. So ABX Girl says that that it is almost as straightforward as Mexico and as easy, okay? Y'all, don't sleep Colombia. Hey, Avocado Queen. I am not near retirement age, but really enjoy your channel and dream of leaving the USA. Only get summers off. So how can I be in country long enough to get residency? Any idea? Get residency in Portugal, you can't. But Avocado Queen, you don't need to be retirement age to retire. Join Beyond the Bling and we'll teach you how to retire ASAP. We do not need to be retirement age to retire. If you are listening to us and you're closer to 40 than 60, don't think you got to wait till you're 60 to retire. Okay? We don't want that for you. We want you to retire when you want to retire, or at least have the ability to retire ASAP. Okay? That's what we want for you. All right. The computer is giving us signals that it wants us to leave. We decide we were not really as well traveled as one would think. Okay, we did visit a lot of places in Europe before we decided on Lisbon, but really it was an objective choice. because it was between Spain and Portugal, and we looked objectively at the tax scheme at the time to get citizenship, which was 5 years versus 10 years. You could get automatically on the universal health care once you got residency. It's 1 year in Spain. So objectively, Portugal just looked better. And then we came and we made a decision in a week and a half because we felt it. It felt like home. And you need to go, not you who asked that question, you in general, y'all who are watching, you need to find another place that you can call home and make your own Black utopia. All right. So get our scouting trip checklist. All right. It's free. It's in the description below. So that when you have your needs and wants and you've got your scouting checklist, hopefully we're still on, you will be good to go. All right. If you need further help, we offer one-on-one coaching. That information also is in the description below. And hopefully we will see you on Thursday. I'm not sure the time because we're going to be on a plane on Thursday. So stick with us. And for the members, you will get an opportunity for the legends, for the Utopian Legends, you'll get an opportunity to come on with us on Thursday. So if you want a Portuguese bank account, we have Border. It is in the description below. You can use Border if that's all you want. Is just a Portuguese bank account so you can start putting some money in euros and not just be at the whim of the melon felon. Border is the place, and to get a discount and to give us credit, that information is in the description below, and I've also put it in the chat. Okay. And then if you're going to do the whole thing and you really want Portugal, or if you want Panama, or if you want Costa Rica, the people that we suggest are called Start Abroad. Start Abroad. That, again, to get the discount and for us to get credit, use our link, and that is in the description below. Yep. And with that, we will see you on Thursday, y'all. We love you. Bye. If I can get to, look at this.